Okay, so for our next math activity, we're gonna be playing Puddle Math. So basically what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna need some construction paper or any type of paper, maybe some scissors and a marker. So what I did was, this is my one puddle. So you're gonna mark 1 through 10, or if you're older, you can do 1 through 20. And so if you're younger and you're doing 1 through 10, I want you guys to just start off with cutting out all your pieces. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll go all the way to 10. And then you'll just put them on the floor in order, and I want you to jump from puddle to puddle. So you'll go 1, and you'll jump 2, 3, 4, then 5, and you'll count to 10. Now if you're older and you're doing 1 through 20, I want you to mix them up a little bit. And you guys can do this on the floor. You can do your puddles however big or small you want. And then I want you to be able to jump from one to another. So you can start with 4, right? But when you go to 4, this is your answer. So you would need to do a math problem in order to get your answer to 4. So if you wanted and you're older, you can do 2 times 2, because that gives you 4. If you're a little bit younger, but you still want to do the math aspect, you can do it so it's, 2 plus 2 equals 4. And you guys would continue to go through until you got to the end of it. If you want, you can also do a competition. You can play against somebody. So you can do 1 through 20, lay them out all on the floor, and you guys can both start at a starting point, and you'll just jump from one puddle to the next. Now here's the deal if you're doing that. You have to make sure that you get the math problem correct. So if you land on 4 and you say, 3 times 7, it gives you 4, that's not right. So you'd have to stay on that puddle and it would be the next person's turn. So you guys can kind of play with the rules, see what you guys want to do. The important part is that you guys are doing the math for it. So however you need to get it done, as long as you're doing the math portion, that's what's important here. Okay, so for your guys' rules, if you're like K1, maybe second, if you're not feeling all that comfortable yet, you guys can just start off with counting. So it'd be, you would jump from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 till you got to the end of whatever you decided, whether it's you go to 10 or you go to 20. You guys can kind of do this with as many numbers as you want. There's no real cap to it. Just do what you guys feel comfortable at first and then add on as you get more comfortable. Also, if you guys are younger and you're doing like the addition stuff or the subtraction stuff, you guys can start with the easier numbers. You guys can go from 1 and then you would do a math problem. So it'd be, 0 plus 1 gives you 1. And you would just continue to go through there. And then if you want to add to that, if you're doing a multiplication, same thing. You would do a multiplication problem, but your answer would be 1. So you have to kind of start thinking about that stuff too. Okay, so the important thing is that you guys are doing math the entire time. So there's different variations. You guys can do it so it's harder or easier in the beginning. Just make sure that as you're doing it, you kind of increase the difficulty. So don't just stay with 1 through 10. If you're doing 1 through 10, maybe next time you play, try to do, 1 to 20 instead of just 1 to 10. Always try to make it a little bit more difficult so that you guys have a good opportunity to keep learning. You guys can also change it. So if you guys are going to go outside, you guys can do it with chalk instead of having to do it, like draw them out. However you guys can get it done. Just as long as you're doing this, that's what's important. So hopefully you guys have fun doing this. You get a little bit of exercise along with learning. All right, bye guys.